Did he punch you?
What's that? No, I got it.
Okay, good.
And I'm double checking to see who can hear the sound of my voice. If you can hear the sound of my voice, I want you to make some noise. Hey. Right on, right on. So just making sure that everyone can hear what I'm saying. If I see people that aren't in the dining area, please migrate over towards the dining area because we got a good program for you, and even better, we got a lot of food for you. So if you're not over by your table, I can't excuse you to go get some food. So those last little scragglers avoiding eye contact, yeah, come on in, come on in. So first things first, before we introduce ourselves, I know you're curious who we are, and I know we look really good, but I'm going to have and dismiss the first few people, or first few tables actually, to go eat. So I would like tables 1 all the way to 5 to please rise up and go, and a little line around there to go and get your food from the buffet line. It is now open for y'all, and we will be progressively dismissing more people to go and get food as the night goes on and as we do our intro. So please listen for your table numbers.
All right, here we go. Good evening.
I said good evening. Oh, that was weak. I want to hear one more time. Good evening. Slightly doing better. I see people start to wake up.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Katie. Thank you. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am on the board of Sports and Schools alongside Kyrie. So I'm going to start out with a little bit about myself. I'm a dancer, a former cheerleader, and former volleyball player. And I have to say that sports are where I formed some of my deepest friendships. So some girls that I met in 7th grade volleyball are incredible women who to this day are some of my very best friends. I also want to add that my deepest love is for baseball. Yes, go Mariners. They are playing. Please give them your love tonight. Send them all the good vibes. So even though I didn't end up playing baseball or softball, I have been going to games since the late 80s back in the Kingdom with Dad. I know it's going to be a little bit tricky tonight because we have some multitasking going on, but I am going to keep going. Okay.
Even with the keep going, I'm actually going to have tables 6 through 10 start rising up and going to get your food. And one more time, tables 6 through 10. Rise up and start getting to get your food. I appreciate you cheering, and I'm going to get food soon after you.
Okay. All right, so as tables 6 through 10 grab their food, I'm going to keep on rolling. I have a fun fact about me that has to do with high school sports. part of my experience in high school was even keeping score for the Edmonds Woodway varsity baseball team as a freshman. So I wanted to go on to why did I join sports in schools? Well, in addition to physical activity and fitness, participation in sports provides community, mentorship, and leadership opportunities for our youth. And I saw this firsthand as a high school teacher in Central and South Seattle public schools. I also know that just like schools within a school district, sports programs are not equitably funded within a single school, and organizations like Sports in Schools can help fill in those gaps. I met our executive director, Glenn McCrae, through a partnership at Rainier Beach High School back in 2015. Yeah, we show Glenn a lot of love. And then when we crossed paths years later, he invited me to serve on the board, and it's pretty hard to say no to Glenn. He's a pretty good guy. And so in addition to supporting our mission of increasing access to school sports, I also truly admire Glenn's authenticity and his leadership in this community and with our school partners.
And hello, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces in here, and I also see some new faces, and both of which I'm happy to see tonight. So my name is Kyrie Smith, and I'm also a board member with Sports in Schools. And tonight, I have the pleasure of being a co-MC with Katie right now. Let's give one more round of applause for Katie, please. So, for me, a little bit about me, I've done just about all the contact sports you can do, from football to rugby to martial arts. And, I got the physical therapy bills to prove it. But for me, sports is where I found community during a lot of hardships. And also I got to find a lot of the resiliency to deal with future hardships. And sports became a place of refuge and support for not just me, but also for my friends, my family, and even for a lot of the students I mentor today. And mentorship is actually how I met our executive director, Glenn. Back when I was a young hooligan over at Cleveland High School, Glenn taught me, he used to teach at Cleveland High School. Back when I was a young hooligan there, Glenn taught me a lot of things about food, as you can see, and taught me a lot about poetry, taught me a lot about kindness, and many of the first lessons that I have on how to be a good community member. So personally, I think I could sing the praises of Glenn all day, but the main takeaway that he's been an excellent executive director so far. And I'm excited for you all to experience the stories from a bunch of other folks today that are in the Sports in Schools family. And I'm glad you are all out here to celebrate our comeback together. So let's give a small round of applause for that. And speaking of round of applause, I would like the next tables 11 through 15, please rise on up and head over to go get y'all's food.
All right. On behalf of the entire board of directors and our team, whether you're with us in person or if you're joining us virtually, we welcome and thank you for showing up tonight for this 2022 fundraiser, The Comeback. We have not held an in-person event since way back in 2019, so we're really excited that you're here with us. We're hoping that you enjoyed cocktail hour and the food and the music and the games too.
So just as a quick note, I'm hearing a lot of side chatter, so if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you hear the sound of my voice, clap twice. And if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap 10 times, please. Oh, shucks. Oh, y'all are so sweet. So I want to make sure that I know we are excited to get the food. I know we're excited to get the program, but I want to make sure we're keeping the noise down a little bit to a minimal because we still have our virtual guests, and we want to make sure that our virtual guests can hear the entire program. Appreciate y'all.
Has put together a dynamic program this evening, and we really hope that you enjoy it. And also, don't forget, it is not too late to buy more raffle tickets, and you can do so by scanning the QR code on your table.
Just saying, the more people that buy raffle tickets, the more probability folks are going to share prizes with me, so I have a personal vested interest in y'all getting these. But we have a very, very exciting evening planned for you all. So we got 2 featured schools here in Washington. We got a Coach of the Year and an Emerging Leader Award. So we have also 2 Just Athletes Award. We have a keynote that's going to be given by Jerron. Y'all might know him as Bookie Gates. We got some raffles for y'all. And you're even going to hear from the man in question, our executive director, Mr. Glenn McCrae. So we got a lot of things for y'all. As a lot of people are munching and I hear things quiet down, I can tell the food is good, but we also have good drink for y'all. And as you can see by the smiles in the room, we got a lot of good people. So we're hoping that tonight, y'all are gonna be enjoying yourself for a great evening.
And before we jump into our program, we do want to welcome our co-founder and founding executive director, Kylene Nichols, to share a few words.
Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? This is so awesome. New venue, new caterer. Really beautiful job to everyone that had a hand in putting this evening together. So well done. Okay. I have my speech here on my phone. I'm not texting, I promise. Let's see here. Stand by. Everyone at home? Give me a sec. Okay. My name is Kylene Nichols, and in 2009, my husband Will and I founded Sports and Schools. Thank you. And those of you who know Will know how upset he is that he can't be here tonight in his super obnoxious orange blazer. He was supposed to be here tonight welcoming you. However, he's at home in quarantine this week. And actually, I was thinking we should FaceTime him real quick. So we're going to do that. I told him to answer. So when he answers, everyone say, "Hi, Will." Let's see if he answers. He's got his Sports and Schools hat on. Yay! Okay, I'll see you later. I'm busy right now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the bad news is he was supposed to be here. The really good news is I talk a lot less than him. So, it's so shocking to continue to see the stark inequalities in our local schools when it comes to access opportunities. As a lot of you know, data has long proven active kids are far more likely to attend school, get better grades, and graduate from high school. We started Sports in Schools in 2009 to help address those inequalities. The spring of 2010, we attended our very first dinner. Who was there? Yeah, we didn't even have a permit for that. That was not a legal event. We raised $36,000. We had a awesome night. And it's been only, it's only been a dozen years since. So if you were there with us that 12 years ago, can you stand up, please? If you were there 12 years ago on our first night. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And if this is your first time coming to one of our events. Will you please stand up so we can give you a round of applause? Thank you so much. And we don't want to leave out you in-betweeners. Thank you also. Okay. Oh, we can't go without thanking coaches, because without coaches, these kids would not have the opportunities they have. So if you're a coach, could you please stand up, and can we give these coaches a round of applause? Okay, I'm wrapping this up. Thank you all for supporting sports in schools and all of our success since our founding in 2009. We've come so far and we've done so much. And now with our future back on track after a 2-year break from gathering together, we are so grateful to all of you being here for our comeback.
Thank you, Kylene. Another round of applause for Kylene Nichols.
And I know something else that warrants a round of applause. I would actually like tables 16 to 20 to start heading up to go get their food.
Our evening would not be possible without some key players, so we do have some shout outs. And there's a bunch of them because a lot of people worked really hard to make this happen, so you can wait until the end for your applause. These sponsors are also on the title card at your table. So I want to give a shout out to the production team here at the venue, 415 Westlake. Also want to shout out our event engineer, My RCB Event. We've got T-Marks Design, our videographer. Diosense Catering, which we're very familiar as we're eating this delicious food. So thank you, Diosense. We have Jamel's Jazz Trio, who provided the incredible music earlier tonight. No, you're already giving applause because everyone's been so great. Now I want to mention some of our program and raffle partners. So big thank you to First Tee, Seattle Storm, Seattle Kraken, Seattle Seahawks. We've got Skyhawks, B Yoga Burien, Freestone Capital, Washington Athletic Club, Bar Green Ellingson, and John Hunt. Now you can give these folks an applause. Thank you all so much for making this possible. And we have one other special shout out to the Renton High School girls softball team. Thank you all for being here this evening.
And you know what? I actually want to give an extra special shout out because lastly, I want to shout out someone that a lot of people in this room know and love, for Makiko Anderson, who recently passed away when we had it in 2021. So one small round of applause for Makiko. Give her a shout out. And if you had the pleasure of knowing Makiko, you would know that she was a good, loving mother, amazing friend, and a tennis enthusiast or something like that. Apparently, a lot of y'all already know, her dream was to make it in tennis and was to play at the Nationals. And not only did she make it over to Nationals, but her and her partner won. I know. So she will truly be missed, but never will she be forgotten. So tonight, she's actually represented by her members of her own tennis club. So table 11, would you please make some noise? Hey. And these cool folks, they've committed to raising funds for the middle school, like ACES program over in Makiko's memory. And Sports in Schools, we're going to create a new sportsmanship award in her name, which is going to be given to these ACES participants and will be recognized at the 2023 gala. So let's give one more nice shout out for Makiko and her crew. got more.
And we have one more shout out. We'd be remiss if we didn't recognize our platinum sponsor tonight, Amazon. So if you were here from Amazon, thank you so much. Huge thank you to Amazon.
So, as I see the line slowly start to shorten, I would like to encourage people to move it on a little bit along, because I'd like the last group in the 20s to come and make their way over to get inside the to get in the line to get their food, because next we are going to actually be directing our attention over to the screen right here, because we have a nice little video for the Auburn Riverside Senior High School dance team. They got a nice little performance for y'all. So if you're in line, just turn around, but make sure you're still walking towards the food. So you'll see us in the hot sec, but please bring your attention to the screen.
Yeah, one of our goals, I guess, was to try and eliminate barriers for kids joining the team. I think everyone should be able to dance if they want to. One of the barriers that we have is that dance is just a very expensive sport. They need all kinds of different uniforms, and a lot of kids, it's a deterrent from them to join because they know that they can't afford it. They have to go to their parents and ask, can we please do it? They have to go to neighbors and ask for them to buy car wash tickets or popcorn or whatever it is. They're going to businesses asking, can you please sponsor us and put your name on the back of our t-shirt? And it gets really tiring, I think, for kids to have to always be asking for money and hearing no a lot when they're trying their best, trying to work towards this common goal.
Yeah, it was around COVID is when it hit. So around 2020.
A week before we were supposed to go to our state competition, the lockdown had just begun, so it had been canceled, and there was nothing we could do to ever redeem that opportunity. We made a group chat and we were like, hey guys, if you're interested, we were planning to host some summer practices, just some simple training. Let's meet at this park at this time.
We actually did practices in my park that's a 1-minute walk from my house. When we came back and we got these new uniforms, it kind of felt like a refreshing restart. It wasn't the same as it had been previous years, and there's going to be new changes, but it kind of showed improvement in a way. We as a team grew from this experience, and so we kind of wanted to show it through our uniforms. I know everyone was very excited for them, and I did have our last year's outfits, but it was nice to have kind of that fresh start and just to have our new look and to show off the dance team that I know made many of us feel a lot more confident in ourselves.
I would say thank you for helping me with the team uniforms. I'm ecstatic that I'm going to have a closet full of uniforms that check in and check out instead of each kid having to buy their own uniform that they're going to grow out of next year. It's just going to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives. I already have a lot of kids who struggle to pay dance bills as it is, and having something to cross off their list that they don't have to worry about is game changer in their families. So it's really, really special, and this really made a huge difference in them. I would just say thank you so much, and thank you to the donors too who help support this cause. I feel strongly that kids need to be in some kind of team, whatever it is, or music or choir, whatever it is. They need to have some type of family. It's awesome that Sports in Schools is helping us break some barriers to being able to join dance, and I hope to kind of continue breaking barriers in the future.
R is for what? Responsibility. A is for what? Attitude. B is for what? Values. C is for what? Enthusiasm. N is for what? Nobility. Riverside Ravens. Riverside Ravens. Get on your feet and feel the beat. Riverside Ravens. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ball out, Ravens out.
All right. Let's give another round of applause. I know that they're not here, but we're super fortunate to be connected with these amazing young women. So I'm excited about this next part. This is where we begin the awards. Every year, Sports in Schools recognizes a Coach of the Year. This person goes beyond the call of coaching and supports their student athletes on and off the field, the court, the mat, or the track. Candidates are nominated by athletic directors, coaches, and other members of the community, and then are selected by our committee. This year, we recognize Shannon Lewis, volleyball coach at Cleveland High School. Shannon brought years of USA softball, college, that would make more sense, volleyball, college, and high school experience to Cleveland a couple years ago. And right now, the turnout at Cleveland for volleyball is at an all-time high. Cleveland is a diverse school, very near and dear to my heart. And many of their volleyball players start playing for the first time as freshmen. And Shannon has been a leader in helping to reassure the school district that yes, CHS could safely conduct indoor sports while adhering to COVID protocols. When Shannon learned that boys also want to play volleyball, she created a club team. And guess what? At their first practice, over 60 boys showed up. That's 60. In response to the current school's facilities lacking the proper equipment for a full and robust volleyball program, Shannon has been engaging the community and the district to secure improvements. So you all have a title card with more info about Shannon at your table. And then we also have her here. So please welcome Shannon, and let's give a round of applause as she shares a few words.
This is such an immensely big honor for me. It's hard sometimes to not have winning seasons, but to be recognized that you're still trying to teach character and life skills, which is more important than whether you have a winning and losing season. I want to thank my mom. My mom flew in from Indiana for this. And my husband, Greg, he's dealt with a lot of weekends of me not being home and playing volleyball and coaching volleyball. And thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate it immensely.
All right. And we'll bring you on over.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, we need a way louder round of applause for that. As some of y'all might be able to tell, my eyebrows are a little furrowed right now, and it's not because of the light in my eyes. It's because I'm jealous now, because when I was in high school, I wanted to have a club volleyball team, and should have come and saved me earlier. You know, I might even have given up football, you know, had a few less brain injuries. You could have saved me, Shannon. But really, I do want to thank Shannon and congratulate again for this award. You know, I think it's well deserved. And Sports in Schools, you know, we have launched this whole Emerging a Leader Award in 2020 to like 2021 during the school year as a way to recognize like a lot of former student athletes who have been giving back to their community. So these candidates are going to be nominated by athletic directors, coaches, and other members of their community. And they're going to be selected by our committee. So this year, we want to recognize a coach that's gone above and beyond as well. We want to recognize Mr. Quincy Davis Jr. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, all right. So, Mr. Quincy, we have over here. He's a Kentwood Senior High graduate. Shout out to Kent. Kentwood's pretty good. I do like him. And he's returned to the area and is currently the college and career specialist for Kentwood High School, as well as the assistant football coach at Kent Lake High School. So, he's really going high school to high school. All the Kent high schools pretty close to each other. Seems they all like him. But he's also been what should we say? He provides opportunities and for students to register for college and or find a bunch of local jobs throughout the area. He also took over as head football coach during the middle of this year's football season. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. It's a big lot to go, so I appreciate him for that. And he's helped to get the Falcons refocused as a team. They provided stability to the program, and Quincy's going to have his own football program someday. But as he continues to learn and grow as a football coach, I think he already got it down, if I'm being honest with you. But you have a lot of Quincy's title card on your table, so please read up a little bit more about him. But please give him an even bigger round of applause for Quincy. Yeah, just a few words.
How you guys doing tonight? It's such a pleasure to be here. You guys all look lovely. I'm a little bit nervous. I didn't know I was gonna have to speak, so pardon me a little bit. But so sports in school, the comeback event, is such an honor to be accepting this award in front of you all. I want to give a huge shout out to my lovely mother for all the guidance and support. Everything I put you through during my youth is really paying off now for you. I want you to know, Mom, she's standing right here in the green. I want to let you know, Amika Akron, without you, man, I don't know where I would have turned. And your support, your guidance, your love is what got me here today to speak in front of this lovely crowd. And I just want to say what makes this comeback event even better is that I done came back and helped the community. And now I can tell you that the tools that you have given me are now being utilized. And so this is the best Mother's Day present I can ever provide for you. And also, lastly, I just want to give a special shout out to another two great individuals in my life. One of them is here today, Kurt Phelps. You want to stand up for me, please? You might not see him, but he's right there in the back, right there. And what makes this coach so important to me and very special to me is the fact that he was my high school football coach when I got to Kentwood my sophomore year. So to be able to come back and work in the same building with him and utilize the things that he showed me how to be, excuse me, I told you I was nervous. The things that he showed me to go utilize every day. I mean, to be able to say, good morning, coach, how you doing? As a staff member now, it's such a blessing and honor. So again, I do thank you guys for having me tonight. It's such an honor to be here and support.
We got our people that are virtual. I want them to be able to see your award and stuff. Okay. Yeah. So we'll go around the camera so they can see you.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, that's right there.
Oh, I got you. Appreciate you. You always got my back.
I think he's nervous too.
All right. Appreciate you, my man.
Appreciate you.
No, I want it. I'll play.
No.
So, next up we got for y'all, we got one of our most well-known board members, John, who's gonna come up here and give us some raffles, y'all. Come up on, John.
All right. Hello. My name is John Hunt, and I'm the president of the Sports and Schools Board. And I have been designated to give out all of the raffle prizes. So, the blue box raffle prizes. But first, before we get into this, I wanted one more round of applause, please, for Shannon and Quincy. Very proud to give these awards out tonight. All right, I don't want to screw this up and get the prizes wrong because I know the blue prizes. First blue prize is going to be the Washington Athletic Club one-night stay. It's a $300 value. All right, we do not have the drums up here for a drum roll. Okay, when I pull your name, are we coming up? Raise your hand and we will bring the prize or prize package to you. Okay, the winner, Benjamin Cusack. Did I get that right? All right, raise your hand, very high. He'll have a very nice day at the WAC. All right, on to blue prize number 2. Blue prize number 2 is the Seattle Kraken authenticated signed jersey. I believe it's signed by the general manager, Ron Francis, I believe, who is like a very famous hockey player. I've been told. All right, another drum roll here. Okay. I got to help me with this last name here. Coach Uchenna? Coach? Oh, there he is. Right behind you, Coach, right behind you. All right, and the final blue gift package is a Skyhawks gift basket with merchandise and a free summer camp. All right. And the winner is Stephen Featherson. Okay, we will be back to do the orange and the ring prizes, the ring raffle prizes, at the next raffle break. But now, and there's still time to buy tickets for those next prizes if you want to be added to the raffle. Now, please turn your attention to the screen for the Rainier Beach High School video. Thank you.
What you gonna do? Sports in school is a game changer for us. Since they came in, as I've been coaching here, even the administration, they are very grateful. My name is Uchenna Aro, and I coach in Rainier Beach High School, both their girls soccer team and their boys soccer team. And since Sports in School has been sponsoring us, it has made a whole lot of difference in terms of the equipment that they supply to us, the soccer balls, the mannequins, the sweatsuit, the jerseys, the pennies, all those things, So the boys are more keen to play, unlike before. And because of that, we have like about 40-something players signed up this season. We have never had something before, and we have now varsity and JV. Very exciting. I'm very, very happy. Grateful.
Let's give it one more round of applause for our Rainier Beach team. So, I would actually like to invite them to the stage. So Coach Kokuchena, as well as the boys, would y'all be able to please come up? We have some questions for y'all. I'll work.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing?
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Huh, I'm doing all right. Thanks for letting us get to know y'all a little bit better. So, how about this? Why don't y'all start by telling us your name, your grade, and how long you've been on the Rainier Beach soccer team, y'all?
My name is Dylan Pessel. I'm in 10th grade, and I've been on the Rainier Beach soccer team for 2 years now.
My name is Ramadan Mohammed. I'm a senior. I didn't play COVID time, so probably 3 years now.
So, this applies to you. So, a lot of student athletes, they've been sidelined during the pandemic. So, what was that time like for you without sports and without being with your team?
Well, it was very different because, yeah, it was very different compared to like what I was used to. Usually is go to school and then play soccer after. So having that routine not there, it just made it seem like school wasn't the same. And coming back was just an amazing feeling, especially to what we had waiting for us. It was very pleasant.
So, now this one's for both of y'all. Are you ready? Okay, good. So, now that we've made a comeback, what does it mean for y'all to be able to be back with your team and back playing soccer?
I think it's super enjoyable. Just to get that energy back. I feel like you would have thought maybe when you came back, the energy would be a little bit off, just from not seeing each other for a while, not playing with each other. But I think it can. When I came back, the energy was even better than it was before. And and yeah, it's been a lot more fun. I really enjoy it so far.
To be honest, I didn't even think we were gonna have a team. It was very shocking because it was off COVID. We came back, and then everybody just first tryout, everybody was there, and we seen numbers just multiply, and that just brought joy to me, especially knowing that this was gonna be my last year, knowing that we're gonna have future on playings. That felt really nice. Still does.
I heard a rumor. Y'all got some new swag.
We dripping now.
Would you tell us a little about the swag? How did it feel to get it? Like, do y'all like it? Is it good stuff?
Yeah, I think it's very good, especially compared to what we had last year. Yeah, it just because I feel like to play good, it all starts with confidence and just having good equipment, good gear, and a uniform and sweatsuit that fits nice. I think that's where the confidence comes from, and it just makes you happier and makes you play better. I feel like.
Yeah, sports in school has like a big impact in our school. We thank you guys a lot because now we actually have a away game. We didn't have jerseys before for away games, and now we do. And then just being drippy and white just feels nice, and then just gives us confidence. Changes our game style a lot.
Yeah, we respect the drip always. And also, I could tell that it's been doing a little bit for their confidence and stuff. They came up straight, chest out, shoulders back. I'm like, all right. That's what I'm talking about. So before we send y'all back over to enjoy the rest of y'all food, is there anything else that you'd like to tell folks about yourself? Fun fact, favorite food, anything?
You guys probably don't know, but I am a striker playing for Rainier Beach. Last season, pretty amazing season. This season, still pretty amazing. One thing I'm hoping to do is go out of country. So college is my next step.
I guess for me, the only fun fact I can think about myself that just comes to mind right now is in 8th grade year, so about 2 years ago, I was 5 foot, maybe less, and definitely well under 100 pounds.
Let's give him a round of applause, y'all. Here, free food, come on over. Oh, yeah, the microphone's back over. And it's back to you.
No, next up, I think it's Christina. Just athlete.
All right, and it's a video.
Nope, I think they're just presenting.
All right.
Christina.
I love how quiet y'all got with that. I like you. I like this group. So, next folks we're bringing up Christina and Carrington to introduce our new award.
That's a big step. Katie agrees. Come on up, Miss Carrington. I'm really pleased to have Carrington Smith joining me tonight. Be careful. Okay. So we're going to lean on each other because we're both a little nervous. I'm Christina Broadwin. I'm the program director for sports and schools, and I get to work with all these amazing coaches and athletic directors, which we have several in the house tonight. Can't thank you enough for your boots on the ground work that you do with these kids day in and day out, and we really know what that means and appreciate you so much. I feel like I'm just a small part in the wheel of keeping these kids going. But I'm here tonight to basically give out the Just Athlete Scholarship Award. And this is an award that we created 2 years ago. Our first year was last year, 2020, 2021. And we picked 2 students, 2 seniors, and provide $2,000 in scholarship funds to go towards their post-secondary education, whatever that may be for them. I'm so pleased Carrington was she didn't get recognized fully last year in person, but she was one of our first awardees last year. Yes. Along with John Magira, who is off at MIT this year, finishing his school degree, so we're really proud of him. But Carrington is very lucky to have her in town this weekend, so we have her tonight. This award, athletes, and they've participated in sports in their schools, but they're more than just athletes. The name of our scholarship is the Just Athlete Scholarship Award, and it really is a play on the word just. So these athletes are involved in race and social justice issues in their community. And I don't mean just marginally involved. I mean, they are doing hard work day in and day out, making change in their communities, and they are the leaders of our future. So I'm so proud to be standing next to this one who really impressed us with her application, stating that she wants to be a doctor at some point and she wants to create her own hospital designated to helping the BIPOC community. So she dreams big, and we support you. And she's kind of like my second daughter, so I'm adopting her. I already told her mom she's got to share her. They have to go through an application process. They have to provide letters of recommendation, and they have to go through an interview process. So this is no small feat, especially during their senior year when they have so much going on. So we appreciate you, Carrington, and we're so blessed to have her here today. She's going to get the honor of actually awarding our current year winners. So I'm going to pass it off to Carrington, and she's going to tell you just a little about herself and where she's at in life right now, and maybe what the scholarship meant to you for receiving it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrington Smith. I'm a freshman at Xavier University of Louisiana in New Orleans. I'm a bio pre-med major, STEM majors, period. So I applied for the Just Athlete Scholarship a year ago. It meant a lot for me to win it. I honestly didn't think I was going to win it. It helped a lot with my tuition. It actually just paid for my tuition for my spring classes. So go Vikes. I'm really excited for that. It also has opened a lot of opportunities for me as well. I was able to spearhead as the host for the Girls Leadership Summit almost 2 months ago, which was so cool. That was my first time emceeing anything, and though it was virtual, it was really fun. So huge thank you to Christina for that opportunity, and another huge thank you to the Just Sports in schools organization because it's opened a lot of doors for me and helped me along the way. So I'm just very grateful to be here, and thank you for listening. Woo. Sorry, I'm really nervous, but I'm going to introduce the scholarship recipients for this year. So first, we have Miss Kayla Harstad. She's a senior at Ingram High School in Seattle, where she participated in both basketball and softball. She is Turtle Mountain Chippewa, a 2-year member of the Urban Native Education Alliance, and lead intern for the UNEA in Clear Sky. She was instrumental in the Seattle Public School Board designating March 9th as Billy Frank Jr. Day. Along with public testimony, she has facilitated many public events for Two-Spirit Indigenous Allyship, MMIW awareness, Asian American allyship, and elder community involvement in the Seattle area, as well as featured in the South Seattle Emerald for community involvement and the Elders Care Project. As president of the Urban Native American Club, she has co-written a land acknowledgement for her school, has an invite to the Native American Youth Leadership Academy, and is involved in her school multi-tier systems of support group working on diversifying the IB program. She believes athletes are responsible for persevering, building relationships, and using their platforms to be advocates. She has plans to attend Western Washington or U of Gonzaga to study political science. Actually, she just chose to go to Santa Clara University, so congratulations to Kayla. Okay, so if I can welcome up Kayla. Oh! Okay. Hi guys, I'm Kayla Harstad. I'm a senior at Ingram High School. I'm also Turtle Mountain Chippewa, which is a tribe from North Dakota. It's an honor to be here today. Thank you for giving me the Just Athlete Scholarship. For the past 2 years, I've also been an intern for the Urban Native Education Alliance, and it's really important that I bring this work back to my community and my people to do the good work. Scholarships like these make it possible for me to attend a higher education because I am a first-gen student. So I just want to say thank you. Okay, and our next recipient of the night is Miss Peyton Odom. She is a senior at Snohomish High School in Marysville and has participated in basketball and track and field during her high school years. She is a strong advocate for Black issues and is currently serving her second term as president of her school's diversity club and serves on the Snohomish for Equity Youth Committee. She has been a panelist for issues relating to race and has starred in numerous documentaries promoting anti-racism while also being a passionate speaker on multiple occasions and helping to organize local rallies. She believes being a minority in a small town has allowed her many opportunities to speak on issues regarding race and has given her the ability to make a difference. She believes athletes are responsible for being there for each other and creating community. In the fall of 2022, she plans to attend either USC, NYU, or Howard and wants to study international business and global leadership. Please welcome Ms. Peyton Odom.
I just want to say I have made a decision. I'll be going to USC. On a merit scholar. I'm currently a senior at Snohomish High School, and I just want to thank you guys so much for your super generous award. That will definitely help with the cost of tuition. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Great job, Carrington.
All right, let's give it up one more time for all of our awardees. Fabulous job. All right, so please be prepared to welcome our keynote speaker, Baseball Beyond Borders founder, Buki Gates. Some of you may already know Buki is an action-oriented, vision-driven servant leader and lover of all things baseball, dedicating his life to strategic change, advancing organizations' purpose, outcomes, and impacts. A servant within Seattle since birth, Buki has devoted much of his childhood to sports as a deterrent to the culture and systems of violence and criminalization in his community. His passion for baseball launched the vision of a sports-based community development organization, Baseball Beyond Borders, serving Black and Indigenous youth and families in Seattle and in surrounding neighborhoods through skill development and life enrichment. This model extends beyond the field of play, including a curriculum, Moving Beyond 12, helping student athletes and their families navigate the college access process and prepare for life after 12th grade. So with that, please welcome to the stage, Buki Gates.
Good evening. Oh, am I in the right place? Good evening. I now want to question Glenn for inviting me to be the keynote after hearing all those speakers and people and just what we see happening in community, right? From what Quincy is doing, Shannon, thank you so much, right? Many of the girls in Volleyball Beyond Borders are blessed because of what you're doing at Cleveland High School. I can say the same for you at Kentwood. Many kids that I see in my Kent community are products of your teaching, and I thank you for that. It's an amazing opportunity, and I'm gonna say this, I won't be before you too long. Y'all don't go to church? Anyway, so let me share a little bit about the what and the why behind the who. I know you heard my bio, that gives nothing to what's there. I am elated from when I walked in. I was a little nervous, didn't know who was going to be in the space, but then I recognized there's a lot of graduates from the illustrious Garfield High School in attendance, as well as the Washington State University. Go Cougs. So that actually made me feel a little more easy. I'm comfort now, so I can go ahead and speak. But as mentioned, I'm a lover of all things baseball. I'm a father of two beautiful children who are right here before me, a husband to a dynamic woman who is also here in front of me. I'm a son of an incredible woman, and it is Mother's Day, but an incredible woman who raised 25,000 youth at Garfield High School in her 32-year tenure. Many of you are products of her teaching and her love and just her compassion. I'm also a son of a father who raised me at Garfield Playfield and gave me the gifts and the talents to play. And he provided me with a means to an end, and that was an ability to give back to community. I'm an alumni of Central Area Youth Association, the illustrious Garfield High School. I can go on with Washington State University, but more importantly, I would spend much of my time at Richland's and Jordan's, grabbing me some gizzards, some fried chicken, maybe even some ginger and candied lemon, or candied ginger and lemon, or some pork rinds. That's who I am. That's what made me, that's what raised me, was that community. And I think that's why we're important that we're sitting around this space today, because of that. Not to mention, I'm also an instigator and agitator of systems. Reason being is that I just question why they are. And I think more importantly, we have to begin to question why things are the way they are. And as we heard about this data, the disparities in the data that we continue to see around play and recreation and sports, that data not only is disparities in it, it's also racially predictable. And it's creating a havoc within amongst our communities because our kids are not accessing play. And I'm using play synonymous with sports, athleticism. They're just not accessing it enough. But I also wrestled a little bit with the concept that Glenn brought forth when he talked about the comeback. Because oftentimes when we think of comebacks, it represents how one could have had a prominent position or role that lost it. And now is trying to find another way back to stardom, to find that success. But I can't say that for many of our youth because they never had the opportunity. So therefore, their comeback is very different than the comeback that we're accustomed to. And I thought about all the comebacks that I think we love and we know, and I've been a part of some great comebacks. I watched my son's team, his Little League All-Star team, not too long ago, be down 5 runs in the 6th inning, top of the 6th. Now, they only play 6 innings in Little League, just for those that don't know baseball. You think they got 3 more innings, they don't. They only got this last inning. But they came back. They scored 7 to 8 runs to take the lead. But guess what happened? They had to go back onto the field to defend that bottom of the 6th. And they didn't do well. They gave up 7 runs to lose the game at that point. But case in point, comebacks aren't always successful. We also have another comeback with the 1995 Refuse to Lose Seattle Mariners. I'm not going to go into the details because I'm sure you guys are going to watch that. But if you think about those moments, there's a moment in that comeback that we often forget, and that's Edgar Martinez in the 9th inning against Jack McDowell. What did Edgar Martinez do with the runner in scoring position with 1 out? He struck out. So think about how Edgar's mindset was in going back into that batter's box in the 11th inning with the opportunity to win a game. But these comebacks aren't always successful, as I mentioned. But there was also key players in that comeback, and it wasn't just relegated to what we see in the highlights of Edgar hitting that double and Griffey running around those bases. But all of these comebacks have 2 things in common. They're memorable, and they required a state of resilience, even when moments never went our way and the road travel was very difficult. I'm also familiar with the greatest comeback of all time, and that is the resurrection of Christ. But that's for a different sermon. But what we gain from that is our own story of setting a standard for the community to then break out. I was going to talk a little bit about this concept that we use, and we use it a lot in Baseball Beyond Borders. It talks about the 3 P's in life. There's pain, there's passion, and there's purpose. The pain that we experience, and many of you have these same 3 P's. You just have to take time to think about what is that pain, what is that passion, and how did that launch me into my purpose? Well, the displacement that I experienced in accessing play, particularly I'm a baseball player, right? And I grew up in Central District of Seattle, right there in Garfield Playfield, but baseball in the 80s just was not available, particularly when it comes to a select club, right? I had to take my talents across the water. I had to go to Bellevue and play. Now, was that a bad thing? No. It was good. It helped me, but it also hurt. And that pain wasn't because I was displaced from my community. I looked back at my community and I recognized there's far too many individuals, my peers, who were way better than me in baseball, but didn't have the same opportunity. But they fell victim to the criminalization and the systemic oppression of my community, even though I was able to move away from it. But that pain really launched me into this passion, because I figured that this pain that I experienced, I cannot just sit there, because I could have just sat and just said, you know what, that pain is the pain and I'm going to let it sit. But I wanted it to launch me into a passion to give back to community and create Baseball Beyond Borders as an avenue for youth to experience their potential. And then that passion launched. Passion launched me into the purpose and where we're at. But the passion I experienced didn't come out of nowhere. I think it began in 1920. That's when Andrew Rube Foster actually created the Negro Leagues. And he did it because he wanted an opportunity where Blacks can own something. We didn't have to be owned. We didn't have to have ownership outside of that. But he also wanted to create an ecosystem within that community. Because when you had the Negro Leagues, you had so much more than just the athletes. You had ticket sales, you had concessions, you had folks that created the uniforms, seamstress and such. But what's more important about that is that there was even people prior to the 1920s that really supported this work. You had Moses Fleetwood Walker, Frank Leland, you had Bud Fowler. They all tried to work to integrate the game of baseball. 60 years later comes Jackie Robinson. That's when the opportunity opened up the doors to see more kids access sport. We continue to press it on April 15th every day, Jackie Robinson Day, but it extends well beyond that. I'm only using baseball as an analogy. But more importantly, there was also some gender equity within the Negro Leagues. Tony Stone, Connie Morgan, Mammy Johnson, all females that also played and participated in the Negro Leagues. So we're seeing a theme of how we open up doors that continue to provide the access and opportunity for our communities to experience baseball. But 20 years prior to Baseball Beyond Borders launching, there was an individual by the name of Ron Gates Sr. That's my father. He made an attempt to create a baseball program called the Seattle Bombers. They lasted for 1 year, had a great experience, great success. It was a semi-pro program for 18 to 22-year-olds, many of them looking to graduate out to try to pursue baseball at a career with college and or professionally. Many of them actually were professional players that came back that may have gotten released, that were looking for an opportunity to kind of explore their potential. Well, the reason that it folded is because the resources weren't there. Didn't have enough to support the ongoing effort that was trying to be made. I'm thankful for what my father did because he showed me an opportunity to give back. He painted the picture of what it looks like to really give to your community. What I find today is that one of our coaches in Baseball Beyond Borders was actually a participant with the Seattle Bombers, and now is giving back. So you see how the connection of community can be. But what's more important is that let's talk about these disparities, because there were disparities there as there's disparities today. Youth sports has grown into a $19 billion industry dominated by competitive travel teams and tournaments. This high-cost structured model of play is leaving many kids on the sidelines. You got population density, right? The compounding King County issues of the growing density and living in a region with a booming population is attributing to that. The inadequate transportation, right? The lack of transportation options in too few fields and or facilities to allow these youth to have access to play continues to cripple the opportunity gap. And then we have systemic inequities, historic and institutionalized racism that continues to shape the public systems and policies that impact youth sports. As such, we recognize that they warrant attention and investment if they are to become the transformational spaces for healing and resistance they have the potential to be. Prior to COVID-19, and I'll give you some fun fact stats. I'm not a real data person, but I figured I'd give it to you because that's one way to raise money for sports and schools. But prior to COVID-19, only 19% of youth in King County, I'm not just talking about Seattle, 19% of youth were accessing physical activity. 19% of youth. If my math is right, that's 71. Am I right? 71? 70? 81. My math is not right. That was, I think, TT Minor Elementary School math. Do not blame that on Garfield High School. But only 19% of youth. So 81% of youth are not accessing play or physical activity in our region. And the CDC requires 60 minutes of play. Now, I can sit here and point the fingers at schools and say, schools, why aren't you increasing more recess time? Why aren't you increasing more physical education? No. It's not schools. It is us as a community, and schools are included within that, that can open up the access, increase field space, increase field times, community centers, recreation spaces. We all have a role to play to address that gap of 81% of youth not experiencing physical activity and play. Prioritizing this is really about school-based youth development, and education is a must. The good news is that this body of work improves physical, mental, social, emotional well-being. And if we recognize, many of you in this space has, and I say has because that is past tense, and I speak for myself, I had played sports, right? Sports was a vehicle for us at some pathway and point in life. Some of us still continue to experience that. Some of us think we can continue to experience play, but our healthcare bills think otherwise. But we are dealing with this missional tension. There's this missional tension I think we all are fighting with right now, because many of us in this room, and I'll say maybe this right side of the room, really want systemic reform. We desire to see the systems change to allow this adequate access. But the left side of the room also recognizes that, but we still need direct service. But it's not an either or, it's a both and. We have to find a way to meet down the middle and say, yes, we want systemic reform. At the same time, we want to continue to offer the service provisions that's needed and required for our student athletes to thrive. Our work remains a focal point in addressing these issues. One, since it's exacerbated by the pandemic of COVID-19, but two, we also got to recognize there's still an epidemic in our community, and that is racism. And we see it to this day. It continues to it finds its way in our communities in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of that is rooted in sports, because there's a culture of sports that wants to continue to perpetuate the cycles that allows it to thrive. But I can't say that it's thriving when we continue to see organizations and schools like Rainier Beach walk out on a field and not have their adequate resources. When it comes to just a uniform, we're just talking about a uniform. I'm thankful for the Renton softball student athletes that are here that are helping out and volunteering. I do remember not too long ago, about 5 years, I went to a game and I was distraught because I saw that all the girls were out there. There was 2 girls that weren't playing. I asked the girls, why aren't you playing? They said, we didn't have enough uniforms to play. But then when I look out there, I'm seeing that one girl has a black jersey, the other girl has a white jersey. There was inequities in the jerseys. But the stories that I'm saying are not just solely limited to a Renton, but we're also seeing the promise that sports and schools is having, because we see the rise of Cleveland High School athletics. We see the rise of Rainier Beach High School athletics. We see the rise of these prominent schools like Kentwood and others that continue to provide the adequate resources that's needed. So even when we feel we're down, we still are victorious because of the small steps that we take as people. So as I close, and I may say that 3 or 4 times before I close, so I'm just trying to prep you. As I close, this work we are called to comes at an expense. It will cost us something. If I can use a baseball analogy, when we step up to the plate, you typically get 4 at-bats in a game. But not all the time in those 4 at-bats will I get a hit or will I be successful. But if I can continue to chip away at that pitcher, if I can make that one hit, that's going to make a difference. But our focus does not need to be on the outcome, but it needs to be on the result. Because during those at-bats, we often don't see the progression of change that occurs, right? How well we're seeing a pitch. We also don't pay attention to the opponent. That's a downfall. Because now in the game of baseball, you have this illustrious shift. So you may step into the box at one pitch and you see that shortstop playing behind second base. The next pitch, you may see him playing at second base. You're like, where did he go? But that is because the opponent is wise, and we have to be wiser. And we have to begin to use our strengths and abilities to navigate around the systems that are at play so that we can be successful and find the gaps. That's what we teach, find the gaps. Or what we say, hit it where they ain't. And for my educators, do not question me. I think that's hit it where they ain't. It may not be a full sentence, but that is okay. That's what they know. So we must continue to allow our success not to be predicated on how many we serve. And oftentimes we use numbers as a carrot. But it's really about how well we serve them and how better off they will become because of the services that we're offering. But I'll say this, with COVID-19, and this is in my closing, again, the moment of our isolation created opportunities for us to be fully human so we can love others. We can find the humanity in others. This is where our passion for sports and recreation creates the spaces for healing and opportunities for belonging. Our collective comeback is the moment we embrace sports through the lens of community development and use it for the vehicle it is to create the change physically, mentally, and socially for all. But this comeback does not come without warning. Every comeback is faced with opposition. I'll leave you with this. Susie Orman has a saying, the elephant keeps walking even when the dogs continue barking. But our work to bring transformative change to the outcome of a game, event, or even a youth today highlights the resilience we have and the power of our collective story. Your presence today is a reflection of that passion and commitment to sports and schools. May our collective fight for change be fueled by our faith. Thank you, and God bless. So I believe I have, thank you. Thank you. So I have the honor and privilege, thank you so much, to introduce the Executive Director here of Sports and Schools. And this is a brother I've known for many, 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 many moons. Love the work he's doing, always had the opportunity to pray and just hang out and connect. And I love the fact that my first interaction with Sports and Schools came at Rainier Beach High School at a Cleveland High School baseball game when the coaches told me we got new uniforms. And I said, well, where'd you get the uniforms from? They said it came from Sports and Schools. So you see the impact has lasted long time, long time ago when it first began. So thank you so much for the work. But with that, I want to bring up the Executive Director, Glenn McCrary, to give you some words.
Man, right about now, this is part of the service that we would pass the offering plate. We're in the 21st century, so we got QR codes now. And we'll get to that in a moment, but thank you, Buki, for those words and your message, and I think the challenge for us on this evening. I went to Rainier Beach High School, and if you know anything, come on now. And if you know anything about our city's history, Rainier Beach and Garfield folks don't really share the same stage and so we are making history on this evening. We're going to continue to make history with you all. I'll be brief because I think we had a full evening and it's been a beautiful experience. Only 30% of organizations make it to the 10-year mark as an organization. But after our 10-year mark, the pandemic hit, and some estimate that only a third of nonprofit organizations would even make it on the other side of that. When I started as executive director in July 2020, our goal was to make it to and through the pandemic so that we could better resource student athletes and school communities once we get on the other side. And I think tonight's event seems to serve as kind of a sliver of hope and evidence that we're starting to at least make a comeback in our society, and especially in schools and school sports. And that's why we decided to name this event The Comeback. That and it's one of the best storylines in sports. Allow me to paint this picture for you. Over the last few years, during the 2019-2020 school year, we estimate resourcing somewhere between 500 and 600 student athletes up until the point of the pandemic. Last school year, while school sports were still on hiatus, we resourced nearly 1,100 student athletes from 33 schools and 11 school districts throughout our state. This school year to date, we've resourced nearly 3,400 student athletes from 61 schools and 24 school districts throughout the state of Washington. That kind of comeback, I don't think happens without some key players, so I just want to shout a few of them out this evening. I'm gonna need your help. I used to be a high school girls basketball coach alongside my wife, Tasha. It's how I was actually introduced to Sports and Schools. They resourced us with equipment and apparel, namely warm-ups and bags and other items as well. And we would close practices with inviting our team to shout out other teammates. And then when they closed with that, we would close with 2 claps. And so that's what we're gonna practice tonight. So that's where you come in. I have 4 shout outs to make. And after I share a bit about each one, I will shout out, I'll say something like shout out to, I'll say who that is. And then as soon as I say who it is, you just clap twice. That's it. We're gonna practice real quick, okay? So Buki just came up, gave a phenomenal message. And I would say something like, shout out to Buki. Oh, you're on it. That sounds dope. The acoustics in this room is great. All right, so first shout out. I need to shout out our school partners because they literally are the reason why we exist as an organization. During the pandemic, we've seen district and building athletic directors, coaches, student athletes, and their families all working together to navigate all of that uncertainty during the pandemic and ultimately ensure a safe return to play. Coaches pivoted and focused on the mental health of their student athletes as opposed to coaching the X's and O's. They journaled, they did virtual check-ins, virtual practices, virtual team workouts, like you've seen with the Auburn Riverside dance team. And in some cases, they practiced in an unfamiliar territory, a park, or some other neighbor's house, wherever they could find place to practice and be with their teammates, they did that. They journaled, said that. So coaches also sent equipment to their teams and their players so that they can stay active during that time as well. They showed tremendous resolve, and they were a source of hope for us as an organization during that time. So shout out to our school partners. Dope. Second is our program partners. One of our other goals we had during the pandemic was to cultivate in-kind partners so that we could circumvent some costs on our end and redistribute resources back to schools and communities. Those partners, both locally and nationally, allowed us to improve our outputs and our margins as an organization. So shout out to our program partners. Too many to name, so I won't, but shout out to them. Our third one, eager to clap, that's cool. Our third one, our board and our team. Oh, wait, you gotta wait. Eager. It's cool though, I love your enthusiasm. So during the pandemic, we transitioned more than 40 total years of board service during the pandemic. And that also includes our founding executive director, Kylene, who you heard from earlier. We onboarded new board members during that time and have an ongoing commitment for our board to reflect the racial, gender, and lived experience of our schools and communities. We have a budding partnership with University of Washington's undergraduate community-based internship program that has placed communication and marketing interns with us over each of the last 2 years, namely Jacqueline Jimenez and Jessica Aguilar. They've been amazing. We have a team of coaches for our middle school ACES tennis program, speakers for our Girls Leadership Summit, and a number of volunteers who have poured in faithfully. And we have a dedicated program director who not only stewards all of our school-based partnerships, but I tell people often there's not an inch of the organization that does not have Christina's fingerprint on it. So thank you for your commitment. Shout out to our board and team. Lastly, our donors, you all. We absolutely would not have sustained during the last 2 years if it weren't for our financial partners. We've had financial partners who have been with us since the beginning. We've acquired some new financial partners. We've seen some giving kind of fluctuate, go up and down, but our financial partners have remained faithful with us throughout this time. You all have stepped in. And so thank you to our donors. You know, when you conjure up a comeback, one thing you have to do is kind of maintain the momentum so that you can continue to compete. And so tonight is not only a comeback, but an opportunity to continue building that momentum. Our fundraising goal tonight is $150,000, and these funds will help us budget for next school year. We wanted originally to come into this event tonight having raised half of that, so $75,000. At last time I checked, we are at $95,000 this evening, which means we're only $55,000 away from our goal. That's Rainier Beach math. I had to throw it in there. We had a bulldog in the room. I had to throw that in there. At your tables and on your tickets, there's a QR code that links directly to our giving page. And we have a few ways to engage you, to invite you to consider engaging. I was thinking about the best pitch for this ask, and honestly, I just wanted to just keep it simple this evening. So here it is. There's roughly just under 200 people in this room tonight. So theoretically, if we gave a one-time gift of, I did the math earlier. Now I'm trying to remember. I think it's 275. I think it's 275 if I remember correctly. 375. Is it 375? Thank you, Chick. Can we get a confirmation on that? 475. Do I hear? So theoretically, if we all gave 200, 375, and then some, we would meet and surpass our goal this evening. And we would hit that goal by dessert. We'd go into Mother's Day, I think, like on a high note. But I have another challenge here. One of the most common celebrations in sports is a high five. And so we invite you to share that QR link to 5 of your friends and family. Invite them to contribute that $275 as well. The second is this. Consider a monthly gift. It costs us about $50 to resource a student athlete per year. And so $50 a month helps to potentially resource an entire middle school or high school sports team. And if you high-five 5 of your friends and family members to do the same, that resources potentially 6 teams per year. If you want to give a monthly gift and high-five 5 of your friends and family to do the same, scan that QR code and share it with them. The last challenge is this. Some of us have the capacity to add more zeros, maybe even a comma. And so we encourage you, if that's you, high-five 5 of your friends and family members to do the same thing so that we can hit our goal tonight. If you came in tonight not able or willing to use a QR code, we do accept checks. If you came in ready to write a check, we will accept that as well. But please know, no matter how you give or how much you give, every gift matters for not just us as an organization, but as you heard, our young people, our students, and our schools. And so in closing, shout out to our school partners, shout out to our program partners, shout out to our board and staff, and shout out to you all this evening. Let's hit our $150,000 goal. Thank you.
All right, we are back for more raffle items. Thank you. I want to thank Glenn. That was great. Oh, if you could hold that, please. Thanks to Buki for the keynote address. That was fantastic. And while you're all contemplating your donations at home, online, and right here in the room, we will call out the remaining winners. We are going to now go to the orange gifts. The first orange gift is a B Yoga Burien Unlimited 1-month pass. It's a $139 value. And remember, raise your hand and we'll come around with the gift basket. The winner is Ryan Aldema. Help me with the last name, Ryan, in the back. Okay. Put that in there. All right. Now we are going to raffle off the bowling party, which includes 2 lanes for 2 hours, plus the shoes. $143 value. Philippe Dorr. I hope you like to bowl. Okay, nope, 2 more orange prizes. Okay, this one is the First Tee complimentary season for 1 youth. It's $149 value. Chris Drape. Drape. All right. Right down here. Okay. And the final orange raffle item. We've all been waiting for this one. It's the Fun Rum Party Gift Basket, which includes recipes, glasses, fun, the fun is in there, and the rum. $150 value. John, oh wait, not me. Liam Leonard. All right. Now we're going to the grand finale gifts. These are the ring gifts. So if you have one of the sparkly rings, I believe you got something when you bought the, okay, the first one. And again, raise your hand, we'll come around. Okay, the first one are 4 Storm home game tickets plus a signed ball by the Big Three. And that's Sue Bird, Brianna Stewart. Who's going to be the third? Jewel Lloyd. There you go. It's all 3 of them. Okay, on one ball, and it's a $450 value. Melina Cutler. Coulter. Melina? Is she here? We raise a hand? Okay, we'll save Melina's name. Okay. All right, now we've got the Seahawks package. This is 2 Seahawks home game tickets, and they're very low. They're good seats. You'll be able to see the interception before Drew Lock throws it. And a signed ball by Chris Carson, $490 value. Nick Smith. Okay, raise your hand and they'll bring it around. Okay, and our final gift for the ring is golf with Bobby. That's an exclamation point behind it. Get to play golf with our treasurer, Bobby Gentry. It's a package for 3 to play with Bobby. So it's gonna be a foursome with Bobby. It's a $910 value, but really priceless. Bobby will probably give you tips the entire round. So, Mason Moorhead. All right. I think that's all. Oh, I take that back. We have a big surprise. There's more raffle gifts. Do you know how many we have? There's just one.
Yeah. Added.
Oh, added in. Is there? How many have we been out? Okay. All right. We know we've got a number here. So everybody who entered any of the raffles, we're all going into one bag. This is very exciting. And we're going to pull out. These are bonus gifts. There's those gift baskets in the back. So rate. Uh-oh. And there was one. No, yep. I think we're good. Masons. He won. Okay. I don't even know what these are. Very exciting. 4 more names. Oh, man. 4 names. One. Six prizes. All right, 6 prizes. Everybody cannot wait till this is over now. 6 prizes. This is going to be worth it. All right. Roderick Booker. Roderick Booker. Okay. Christy Park Riley. Christy Park Riley. Ryan Wida. That's 3. Okay, 3 left. Daryl Lee. Daryl Lee over there. Okay, two more. Sandra Hunt. No relation, no relation. And Ku Ching Wang. Right down here. All right. That's 6. All right. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the raffle. We really appreciate it. Could those of you who won the rapid fire surprise bonus raffle, keep your hands up, please. We need to track you down here. Hands up. We good? Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. And congrats to all of our raffle winners. Give them a round of applause. All right, folks, we want to thank you for a fabulous night. Thank you so much for showing up for the comeback, this 2022 fundraiser. One more thing before you leave. You might have noticed that you have some orange bags. You have some stress balls on the table. Has anyone been feeling stressed lately? Okay, so maybe you've already loaded up, but if you have not, go ahead and take some stress balls with you, take the coasters, take these mementos of this evening that we just shared together.
And that's right. So, depending yeah. Slowly we start to bring the volume back down. Slowly start to bring the volume back down. Appreciate y'all. So, as far as how tonight went, I think I'm definitely going to remember tonight. And, depending how well people use that wine bar, I hope y'all remember it too. So, I want to thank everyone again for joining us. And because I like Glenn so much, I actually want to take that 2 clap, because we got a couple of more sponsors to thank. So after I say a sponsor, I want y'all to give them a 2 clap. We got our program partners and presenters. A little late, but I'll take it. Special thanks to the 415 Westlake for hosting us. Okay, we're getting more. The Dial Sense Catering for the great meal. Okay. Our A&V team with T-Mark Design. Okay, getting more energy too. Our event engineer, My RCB Event, and of course, all of y'all. So, it's near the end of the night. This is normally the time where I say, you ain't gotta leave, but you gotta mosey up on out of here. But we actually have desserts for y'all. So there'll be time for y'all to go around and back and get some desserts. Y'all be able to come by, say hey to me and Katie. And, I did my handshake quota for the year and stuff, so I won't be shaking hands, but I will be saying hi. So feel free to stop by, hang out, and come say hey to everyone. But other than that, good night. You all look lovely, and I hope y'all have a good rest of the night.